Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Mark Starr from the Hopry.com. And I've got a pretty special week lined up for us, and that is because Kansas City just started getting green flash, finally. So, you know, we just recently got Stone, we got Founders not long ago, Lagunitas. So Kansas City's really starting to get, you know, some really good beers and breweries into this area. So whenever we get a new brewery like that, I really like to kind of spend a week or do a big dedication to that brewery. Last time when we had Stone, Tim and I sat down and we had reviewed, I think, maybe 5 of their beers. So I'm not going to review all of these today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Hophead Red today. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to review this one, which is their Imperial IPA. And then on Friday, I've got this really limited release called the Silva Stout, and it's basically an Imperial Stout that has been aged in oak barrels. And I've actually been hanging on to that one for a while. I got that one in a trade, and so I thought, you know, that'd be perfect to include it this week. Now, I have already reviewed their West Coast IPA, and I have also reviewed their La Freak. In fact, I think Tim helped me review that one. So if you want, you can go back onto the sessions tab on my website, and you can look for those old sessions and include them with this week's as well. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I'm going to move these over here out of the way, and we'll get to those tomorrow, or excuse me, Wednesday and Friday. But today we're going to be taking a look at the Hophead Red, which is basically, as it says on the bottle, says that it is a red India Pale Ale. Now, if you look it up on Beer Advocate, it will tell you that it's an amber ale / red ale. So I'm imagining this is a lot like Founders Red's Rye, which is a beer that I really, really like. So I'm really hoping that this, you know, is very similar. The bottles have changed. I don't know if you've noticed that with Green Flash, but they have changed slightly. They have a different shape. They've got Green Flash kind of imprinted on the glass itself, and they still have these really awesome sunbursts or these Green Flash caps on them that I really love. But why don't we go ahead and bust the cap on this one, and let's go ahead and get it into a glass and see how this one stands up to the other red beers that I've had probably over the course of the last year or two, I guess. Maybe not too many, but yeah, you know, I mean, it's got the, before I even can get to the color, you know, I can really compliment this beer for the head on it. It's got this really nice light tan colored head, but it's got, you know, this really nice consistency on it. It's really inviting, really frothy, very, you know, consistent, and almost looks like the top of a espresso. You know how the bubbles just really kind of look like they're good and tight and frothy. Holding it up to the light here, you know, it's definitely got that amber color, that really dark reddish brown color that you look for in a beer like this. In fact, a lot of times Midwest and East Coast IPAs tend to be a little bit more on the darker side like these do, whereas on the West Coast, you know, you move into some of the pale yellow, the lighter golden color. So having said that, let's go ahead and give this one a smell, and hope I'm not drinking this one too cold. I do like my IPAs to be just a touch colder. I don't like them to be too warm, so hopefully through this review it'll warm up a little bit, but let me go ahead and smell it. Wow, okay, well, right off the bat, there's lots of citrus, lots of pine coming out of here. They do call out on the bottle here that it is dry hopped with Amarillo, and it is 7% ABV, so, you know, a pretty good amount of, you know, body and hops and, you know, alcohol going on in there. Pretty traditional for a regular IPA, but definitely getting, you know, those citrus and pine notes. There's some tangerine. You can tell that there is some malt character in here. There's a light caramel note that you get from that maltiness. But yeah, this really smells a lot like Founders Red's Rye right off the bat. Another one that it really reminds me of that I've reviewed is the Free State, oh, what's that Free State beer? Never mind. Look it up. I'm drawing a blank, and it's one of the better IPAs I've had. But anyway, let's go ahead and sip it. Really good amount of bitterness here. I like the sweetness from the malt, so you're getting almost kind of a floral component from the combination of the hops and the malts. There's a really good grassy bitterness that kind of hits about the middle of your tongue. As it goes down, there's really not a whole lot left at the end. I'm really getting most of the flavor on the front and mid palate. Yeah, this is a very, very good beer for the style. You know, we've got white IPAs now, we've got red IPAs now, we've got black IPAs. So, you know, obviously going through the whole spectrum of malts to create these different kinds of hop bombs. You know, this one's, you know, really good for me. Again, it does remind me of the Founders Reds Rye. So, you know, just to kind of give you an idea of where this beer is, maybe even the Hop Rod Rye would be another good substitute if, you know, if this is something that you can't get in your market. Josiah Miller IPA from Free State. I knew I was going to pull that out at some point. This really reminds me of that, you know, because that is such a Midwest IPA. It really has that good floral, malty, hoppy aroma. But this one's very, very similar to that. Maybe not quite on the level as that one. I would say maybe because this one's not as fresh, but I know it's as fresh because these just arrived within about 4 days ago. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. Really enjoy this beer. Go out and get you some if you can. They do come in 4-packs. And that's it. Until next time, my name is Mark Starr. Cheers.